Jack had always been the kind of guy who did everything right, at least on the outside. He got good grades in school, got into a decent college, landed a stable job, and even bought his own apartment by the time he was 28. To most people, Jack seemed like he had it all figured out. But what no one saw was the weight he carried inside, the weight of constantly chasing approval. Every decision Jack made wasn't really for him, it was for them. Who were they? His parents, who expected him to have a respectable job. His friends, who teased anyone who dared to do something different. His boss, who only praised the loud, aggressive workers. His social media followers, who only liked the highlight reels. And little by little, Jack began to lose himself. He wasn't living his life. He was living the version of his life that others expected of him. He wore the clothes others liked, took jobs that sounded impressive, dated people who checked the right boxes. He smiled in group photos, but felt hollow when he looked at his reflection alone. Deep down, Jack's self-worth was fragile because it was built on something unstable, other people's opinions. The breaking point came on a Sunday afternoon. Jack was having lunch with his family. His younger cousin, who had just quit his job to travel and build a YouTube channel, started sharing his journey. Jack's uncle chuckled and said, "Well, Jack's the responsible one in the family. He's not chasing silly dreams." Everyone laughed. Jack smiled too, but it hurt. That night, he sat in his apartment, the lights off, scrolling through old photos of himself. He saw a picture of himself at 18, holding a guitar, smiling like he meant it. Jack used to love music. He once dreamed of being a songwriter. But someone once told him, "You can't make a living from music," so he buried that dream deep inside. That night, something in him cracked. He asked himself, what would my life look like if I stopped caring what everyone thought? That question became the beginning of a new chapter. Let's pause for a second here. Have you ever felt like Jack? Like no matter how much you achieve, it never feels enough because you're measuring your life with someone else's ruler. If you have, you're not alone. So many people struggle with self-worth because they've handed the keys to their identity over to others. But here's the truth. Self-worth isn't something others give you. It's something you build from within. And it's not built in a day. It's built in small moments, when you choose yourself, when you speak up, when you stop apologizing for simply being who you are. Back to Jack. The next morning, he did something bold. He signed up for a weekend songwriting class. It wasn't about becoming famous. It was about doing something that made him feel alive. For the first time in years, Jack felt excited, not to impress anyone, but because it mattered to him. Week after week, he started taking back pieces of himself. He created a YouTube channel where he posted original songs. He even sang at an open mic night, shaking the entire time but refusing to hide. At first, some friends teased him. "Dude, this is random," they said. "Midlife crisis," one joked. But something in Jack had changed. He wasn't looking for their approval anymore. That shift, from needing praise to owning your truth, is the heart of self-worth. Famous psychologist Carl Rogers once said, "The curious paradox is that when I accept myself just as I am, then I can change." And that's what Jack did. He stopped tying his worth to promotions, likes, or compliments. He started asking, what makes me feel alive? What makes me feel proud, even if no one claps? Let's bring in the science. A study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that people with high levels of self-worth experience lower anxiety, better health, and more fulfilling relationships. The study showed that when individuals base their worth on internal values, like personal growth, kindness, creativity, they experience more stability and satisfaction than those who base it on external factors like appearance, popularity, or success. Jack's life didn't become perfect overnight, but it became real. He still worked his day job, but he set boundaries. He no longer said yes just to please. He stopped chasing promotions he didn't want. He invested in things that made his soul feel full, writing, singing, and reconnecting with old friends who accepted him as he was. And perhaps most importantly, Jack began speaking to himself differently. Before, his inner voice said things like, "You're not good enough. You'll embarrass yourself. What will people think?" Now, his inner voice started saying, "You did your best. You're learning. You deserve to live your truth." That inner shift, changing the way you talk to yourself, is a big part of building self-worth. Jack learned that your value doesn't come from being the best. It comes from being you, fully and unapologetically. Let me tell you one more thing. One evening, Jack received a message from a stranger on YouTube. It said, "Your song helped me through a tough time. Thank you." He sat with that message for a long time. He didn't need a trophy. He didn't need a standing ovation. That message reminded him that by being himself, he had made a real difference. Not everyone will understand your journey. Not everyone will clap when you win. Not everyone will stay when you change. And that's okay, because your self-worth doesn't live in someone else's eyes. It lives in yours. So if you're struggling today, if you feel like Jack once did, invisible or trapped in someone else's version of your life, remember this: you are more than your job title. You are more than your appearance. You are more than what others think of you. You are a living, breathing, growing soul, and your worth is not negotiable. Take it back. One small step at a time. Maybe it's picking up something you once loved. Maybe it's saying no when you used to say yes. Maybe it's letting go of toxic people who only loved the version of you that served them. Whatever it is, start. Don't wait for permission. Because here's the truth. You are enough, right now, as you are. And like Jack, the moment you stop letting others define your self-worth is the moment you truly begin to live. Let me leave you with this. The world will always have opinions, but only you have the power to decide what truly matters to you. Speak your truth. Love your quirks. Honor your heart. You are worthy. You are strong. And the world needs you. Not the version others want, but the real you. So stand tall. Own your story. And never forget, your self-worth is not for sale. It's your birthright.